Hello everyone, Secretario here. So welcome to round 2 of Exhibition Series 1 for the GTWS. So it's the Nations Cup 2026. So in this race, as you can see, so I'm going to start in last place, so P16. So horrible qualifying, had a few issues, and as you can see, so I'm in Minardi F1 livery. This is going to be kind of appropriate since Minardi used to be a strong team in F1. So I usually finishing in last place. I don't know, to be honest, I like the Minardi team, but I really like the Minardi team. This is kind of appropriate in this race. I only had one chance to do this race, so not a lot of practice. So I was hoping that I could maybe survive by not making many mistakes. But unfortunately that wasn't really what happened. The Spanish driver there, so high tech, having some issues as well. Already making a mistake. First mistake of the day. The Czech driver there was stay dumb, so having probably a penalty. Global shadow, having some issues there. I just kept making a lot of mistakes, so it's just honestly a horrible race for the most part. I didn't know what I was really thinking. Very hard to control this car, especially using the controller. So the drivers also having some issues there. The checking the British driver or the shadow. So this was a 25 lap race. Then I had to pit once. The best strategy was to pit around maybe like 12 or 13, so halfway through the race. And Also, even though it wasn't really mandatory, but I'm guessing changing tires was probably the best option. Italian driver having some issues as well, going off track. At this point of the race, I was still kind of hopeful, I guess, that I could maybe at least keep this position, or maybe at least try to get close to the two drivers ahead of me. Like you can see there. Drivers ahead also having some issues. I had four cars or maybe 5 right in front of me. Italian driver pitting already at the end of lap 6. I must say I'm not really usually that good with in these Formula cars or with Red Bull cars, or I guess with really fast cars, I guess, because especially when you play with the controller, so sometimes it's really hard to control the inputs. Just to the steering but also the acceleration or brakes. So and then you start struggling with some of the input, so you end up being a bit slow. And then you just have to hope that you don't make any mistakes during the race. At this point, so things were still going kind of okay, I guess. I was still making up a few places, trying to recover some positions. Mistake there. So that ended up slowing me down and allowed two drivers behind me to catch me. Wide there. So the mistakes like that, so going over those bumps and then unsettling my car wasn't really helping. Beat there. I'm looking a bit late. So I just decided to put it in the lap 11 because I'm making a lot of mistakes and I just felt like maybe I could get some clean air, so maybe I could try and in some good laps and try to maybe gain some positions. Going for the undercut. But I didn't really take advantage of that, and I decided to make another mistake there, so that breaking myself. The driver in first place was already going through me, but I knew that he still hadn't pitted, so I wanted to see if maybe I could keep up with him. That was clearly going to be impossible. My horrible performance driving this car. Back to P12 at this point of the race. Making a really silly mistake there. Yes, I was starting to feel the pressure because of the cars that will be right behind me. So I ended up making another mistake there. So spinning the car and losing even more time. Close to Johan there, the Austrian driver, and then losing 2 positions, so going back to P14. One of the drivers had already quit the race. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when I pitted, I also forgot to change the tires, so I accidentally pushed the button not to change the tires. So obviously, I guess most other drivers probably change their tires, so which also was unfortunate from my part, because I knew that I was going to struggle even more, especially at the end of the race. So I was just checking, but yeah, as you can see, so most of the drivers, so I decided to change the tires. Let's check something, guys. Yeah, because so I went back to P15 there, because yeah, so again making the same mistake. You know, I was really struggling at the corkscrew there. Because sometimes it felt like my car couldn't really brake very well. So I'm losing my position because of that mistake. At this point, also the first place driver, so the Spanish driver, Moya, had already pitted, so he was behind me again. Mention that the car that we are driving in this race, it's the Gran Turismo 3500A. So I was still trying to catch the British driver ahead of me. And I felt like I was getting closer and closer. Not that was going to really help my race, because the other drivers were already too far away. So up to P12 here, so as you can see, we're already in the start-finish straight. And then there were the three of us. At this point, I knew that even if I was lucky, the best that I could get was probably a P13. think it was maybe around this lap or the end of this lap. Yeah, with a 110 in this lap. So I guess it was around this time that I started realizing that unless the two drivers ahead of me made some mistakes, that I wasn't really going to be able to overtake anyone, because I started realizing that my tires weren't really in the best of conditions. I was starting to struggle a bit. So this ended up being a kind of lonely race till the end. I really didn't feel the confidence to push hard when I was. Going into the final lap, since the leader had already overtaken some of us. So I tried my best, but unfortunately, so also with all those mistakes that I also did during the race, so that really helped things. So then I'm going to end up finishing in P15. So like I said, so probably one of my worst races ever. And also making a lot of mistakes, but I guess, well, that's how it is. So sometimes that happens. Sometimes we have really bad races, so this was one of them. So not really anything very interesting to show, but I felt like I had to show everything anyway, so even the bad races. So anyway, so I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, so I will see you soon.